One of the things that's really interesting about Boyle Heights is that it's in a hilly region and it's on a bluff, hence the Heights part of Boyle Heights. It's on a bluff that overlooks downtown Los Angeles. So accordingly, you get these outstanding views. And also, there's a bunch of these little arroyos, or whatever you'd call them, but there's depressions in the topography where water collects. And there's been a couple of pretty gnarly flash floods in the area over the years. So what I'm looking at is, on the one hand, this is kind of like a natural place for a park because it's nestled in this little valley. But on the other hand, there was a lot of work that went into making this park. I don't know, I can't tell if this was a pond or not. This park was donated by the widow Hollenbeck, Mrs. Hollenbeck, teamed up with a local politician, Mr. Workman, and they built this park. They donated the park, but they also purposefully built it as a catalyst for real estate development, which took place a little bit later. So they built this park in tandem with selling off tracts and tracts and tracts of houses. And they had different prices, so the $500 lots were the typical one. I'm sure you can see that nowadays. Some days, some houses you can see are just kind of plopped on a little piece of land, these little tiny houses with hardly any backyard, no driveway. And I presume those would be the $500 lots. And the $700 lots are the ones that are beautiful with the driveway, with the going up the hill. But I finally get to see where these palm trees are. I come to one of the bridges on the 4th of July because you stand in the middle of the river and you can see a 360-degree fireworks show that's just indescribable. And I know this neighborhood definitely gets a lot of action on the 4th of July. Those palm trees are probably very old. That was kind of in vogue at one point, was to have palm trees. It's just kind of a symbol of Southern California. So now that we've sufficiently looked at the natural beauty of this park, we'll look at the more perplexing part of the park's history. Most importantly to me, this is where Cheech catcalls lady on the way to the stereo shop.
Hello, eye candy.
You know, when he says, "Hey, baby, look at me. Look at no hands."
Hey, look, no hands. Hey, you need to tour the lake?
Thank you, birds. I don't know why, but I thought there'd be like skateboarders or something there. Maybe there's not enough room or something. The skateboards, probably lost a few skateboards in the lake. Cool stairs. I love that. There we go. Yeah, these palm trees are a habitat for a lot of birds. See, an old house with the stucco on it. I mean, stucco does the job. It doesn't rot. It just gets dirty. But they look like they keep it in good shape. Dude, these palm trees are just fucking amazing. I know this is gross, but I figure if I do one thing when I come to visit, then it's better that I was here than not, right? So that's my one thing. That was a little gross, but I had to do it. It's just, oops, I hate when that happens. Back it up, back it up. All right, much better. It's so ever present. The sound of automobiles racing by, like several 100,000 cars a day. Like a lot. Like, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, four or five, 4 or 5 major freeways with these little kids. They look like they might. One of them was mad dogging me. I'll steer away from them. I don't want any interactions with kids. They're gonna start pelting me with rocks. But when I was a kid, parks were very dangerous and scary at night. And not all of them, but especially the city next to mine, Anaheim, those parks were, I don't know what we're doing in the park at age 15 at 1 in the morning, but it definitely wasn't a good idea for us to be there. I imagine back in the 90s, that would just be another degree, a few notches up. Because I know the culture from this neighborhood was spilling over into Orange County. This is like therapeutic because everyone's watching me talk to myself. I don't know if they do here, but I know that at other parks in the morning you see senior citizens working out on these things, and it's the cutest thing in the world. And I do hope in the morning that there's little old ladies stretching their calves and doing their ablutions. Maybe I should ask someone if they know someone that's fallen in the lake. There's cool drone footage and stuff of this park. What I'm doing right now, plenty of people have done it before. So there's lots and lots and lots of stuff out there. And believe it or not, there's a lot of history. My dad was a grocery store manager. And on that salary, him and my mom, as a waitress part-time, were able to have a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. And they bought it for what was 4 times my dad's salary at the time. So just do that math in your head. Those little courts, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know, I can't speak for all of them. I know a lot of them were like work housing, like turn of the century. You know, LA was still kind of a backwater. LA didn't really come into being until, well, the 1920s, obviously, but you know, a little bit before then, but not much before then. Before 1900, it was an old west town. What's that? I'm doing a walk around tour and make a YouTube video.
Oh, you see that?
Yeah.
For YouTube? Oh, that's cool. She's the reason why the tents are allowed to stay up, and you don't have to take the tents down in the morning at 5 or 6 o'clock, you know, at the crack of dawn.
Do you mind if I ask how you feel about that position?
I feel great about that position because it's people's homes, you know.
Right.
There are people, there's people that don't just have a little pop tent. They have, 16-man tent and shit like that. They make it a home, you know. The tents are have divided rooms and
Yeah.
stuff like that and all that stuff.
Do you see? I see some people like sweeping and cleaning up. Is there like a pecking order when it comes to that? Do people?
Of course. Oh, yeah. And there's like street vigilante too. You know, people that are used to living next to each other.
Yeah.
Other people from other areas can't just move in with them where they're at because they don't know who they are or what they do or what they're about or anything like that. So
What about fires? You heard of those?
What? Yeah, people's tents do get found there.
Right. All right, brother. What's your name?
Aaron.
All right, Aaron. I'm Eric. Nice to meet you. I love Smart and Final. The business spawned out of Southern California, and it's the type of place where people start working as checkers and end up as managers. More bungalows. That's like the bread and butter. And it's like they were so prevalent back in the day and they're so useful. I mean, they house a lot of people here. You know what I need to focus on is some of the cars around here are pretty cool. Oh, speak of the devil. There we go. Oh, dude, she is a beauty. All right, I'm moving. Sunset today.
The sun will set at 5:31 p.m.
All right. Well, maybe. I wonder what that used to be. Anyone know? If we can find out what it is now, we can certainly find out what it used to be. Tell you what, the views up there from the opposite side facing downtown must be unreal. Oh my God. Sorry, dog. See, this really makes me sad. You know, all over LA, obviously I don't know the story about that house, I just walked past it, but it is very noticeable all over LA that you see houses like that, all boarded up, refurbishing, and all of those people leaving. There's a very stark, especially when I'm here for entertainment, the notion of that and not being sensitive to what's going on in the neighborhood would be tone deaf of me. These strip malls are everywhere in Los Angeles. I mean, everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. And they used to be so pervasive, and it's so funny when you see you drive around now, they're still everywhere, but the parking is like such an odd premium to just be able to pull up to a store and park your car and go to the business and then leave when you feel like it. Ooh, hello. Is it okay if I go by here? Is it okay? Is it okay? Okay, thank you. There you go.
Thank you. God bless you.
You're welcome. Wow, look at that. So it's always nice to have a secret place to go to check out a good view. And so if I ever get the feeling in my bones that a good sunset's about to happen, then I will be sure to take advantage up here. I don't know if I recommend it to people at home, but that is what will be in the near future, a replacement to the beloved 6th Street Bridge over the LA River. It's been delayed for one reason or another. And its design was mildly controversial, but not really. It'll look great when it's done. Cool, so we can do this. Start walking. All right. Well, that's the neighborhood. We're gonna walk through the park one last time. I'd take it as a badge of honor if some kids with skateboards started hassling me. Aha! That's a shortcut. I was just up there. This is one of my favorite things. I love houses built on hillsides with little garages dug into the side of the hillside. That is, yes, that is a thing. That is absolutely a thing. You see it in Echo Park and Silver Lake. It's someone else's garage. It's like, why the hell do I even care? But I don't know. For some reason, I just love it. I had to give off the least sexual vibes that I could. I don't know if that's still a thing. I don't want to be disrespectful or anything, but there seems to be a prostitutional vibe in the area. That might just have been a random occurrence. I hope so. And if so, I totally apologize for putting that out there. I could have just ignored it, but it was a little, I was like, oh shit. I really enjoy the vistas up here. This is cool. These are tough geese. Uh-oh. Man bun. The elusive man bun. Well, now I feel a little silly being intimidated. I mean, Christ, there's a guy with a man bun walking around here. I'm like 4 or 5 levels from that. This is what happens when you leave your notes at home and you don't have any educational material. You end up wasting time on trivial pursuits of antiquated stereotypes. I have friends that have man buns. I don't know what it is though. It's how you doing? I'm trying to follow them. The guy has a man bun. You know what that is? What's that?
Why is that? Who is he?
Oh, he's nobody. But I was going to do a video of historical education, and then I left my notes at home. So instead, I'm just following people with man buns around.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. If they see me, I'm gonna, I'll back off. But until then, I'm kind of curious. How about you? No, it's just me. Okay. All right. All right. He was with me, and then he wasn't with me, and then he got back with me again. Actually, this is dual purpose. I'm stalking them and at the same time getting to my car. There they go. It's probably not a good idea for me to perpetuate stereotypes like that. But, it is a weird juxtaposition. You can't really say that a man with a man bun couldn't have walked around here 20 years ago, but because no one knew what a man bun was. It was indescribable. People had them, rockers and stuff, but it would be perplexing. It was like, wow. On one hand, I like... Never mind. That's enough about man buns. That's a silly discussion. All right. So that was pretty cool. I spent a lot more time in Boyle Heights today than I ever have consecutively in my entire life. Usually just getting on the freeway, getting off the freeway, we're driving through. And just so you know, I think that's the 5 exit there. If you get off at 4th Street, wait, how do you get off at 4th Street? Oh, that's on the 101. Is that the 101? No, that's the 5. Okay, so anyway, if you get off at 4th Street, there's the Sinclair gas station. There's 7-Eleven. Get all your provisions.
He was larger than life. He drove us to San Francisco in a big fly.